Hello, my name is Vanessa, and this is my podcast where I overshare to the internet for fun and hope I don't regret it in the future. I've got a real juicy episode today, and it's very full circle for me. Today we're gonna dive in deep to my last breakup, the breakup that turned me celibate. Celibate is probably the wrong word because it's not for religious reasons. It's just, I just don't get around much these days or at all. Can I say that? Is that appropriate? The reason this feels full circle is because I started this podcast very shortly after the breakup that I'm going to discuss today. I started this podcast because I think I just needed a project to pour my energy into so that I wasn't going crazy post breakup. I just had a lot of energy and it needed to go somewhere. I don't know. So don't we all start podcasts when we're down bad? I don't know. But at the time I felt too scared. It was too fresh for me to dissect when I started this podcast, the breakup was just too fresh. I couldn't look at it from a different lens. I was just so in it still. But now, oh my god, it's almost been 2 years, you guys. It's almost been 2 years since that breakup. 2 years of me having no action romantically, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm so grateful for that, for this time that I've had. But yeah, damn, that's crazy that it's almost been 2 years now. Oh, also, at the time of me recording this episode, I just posted my first episode of season 2. So I just posted the first video episode today. So that's exciting. I had a few episodes recorded for months now, and I was just really slow editing them and getting everything together and gathering the courage to upload because it's scary sometimes. Anyways, we're here now. It's December and I've been single for almost 2 years. And anyways, now I feel so much more removed from my last breakup, to the point where I feel comfortable talking about it. And there's a lot to unpack there. For many years, I was what I would call a serial monogamist. I made a YouTube video on this one a while back, where basically I was once I started dating, I didn't stop. I just jumped from relationship to relationship pretty quickly. Not a lot of downtime in between. And yeah, spent a lot of my formative early adult years in monogamous relationships, okay? From the ages 18 to 24, I was in a relationship. So what was so groundbreaking about my last breakup that made me stop, that made me not want to immediately jump into another relationship? What made me take a step back and say, hey, maybe I should slow down, maybe I should have some time alone, maybe I don't need to be in a relationship all the time? Let's just start with this first entry. This is the first piece of writing I could find post breakup, kind of discussing my feelings. I don't think it has a date. Sometime in January of 2024. The breakup was in December, right before Christmas. Mwah, great timing. My birthday is also in December, so it was post-birthday, pre-Christmas, a little breakup. Throw a little breakup in there to spice things up, why don't we? Spice things up. It did. Warning in advance, this is going to be cringy, okay? Maybe not for you. Maybe, I don't know. It's just going to be sad and cringy a little bit. But I feel bad saying that because like these are very real feelings that I was experiencing in the moment. And because I'm so removed from it now, I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, like, why was I so distraught over this man who didn't give a shit about me? Woo, you know? Like it makes me sad for her. But this was real. This is real. These are my real feelings. So I'm not gonna shit on my past self too much because she was going through it, okay? What should I call my ex-boyfriend? Should we give him a name? Trevor. Okay, Trevor. Thank you, Trevor, for breaking up with me. Now I'm able to write. Writer's block gone. I have enough content to write about for centuries now. I could fill this book for you with questions, pleas, and cries. Been no contact for nearly 3 weeks. I never thought it was possible. It still feels like a nightmare. I dream of you constantly. Sometimes you're mean or breaking my heart again. Sometimes we're in love and everything's okay. I wake up hurting regardless. I think my main strategy now is distraction and radical self-love because now as I'm writing about it again, the emotions reopen. But the more time that passes without a word from you, the more my fondness slips away. And in fact, there's moments I'm quite disturbed by you, by how you led me on for a year, made me feel safe and appreciated, let us entangle lives, get to know families, then boom, gone, like absolutely nothing, with no real reason. It's disturbing how you said we're not compatible and you don't see a future with me, but you fucked me and acted like you loved me days before ditching me. It's disgusting. I hope it hurts to look at yourself knowing what you did. Ooh. If we were so uncompatible, you never showed it. You put on an A+ performance, I'll give you that. Fooled me real good. Fooled my whole family too. It's disturbing. I hope to God, the universe, for your sake, you're silent because you're getting intense therapy and realized how immature, selfish, and disturbing that breakup was. I pray whatever girl you end up with next doesn't have to experience the heartbreak you put me through. I hope you work on yourself, your communication, your emotional maturity before subjecting another innocent woman to your indecisive, misleading, blindsiding ass. No one fucking deserves that. And part of me hopes and prays you do realize you fucked up, but it's too late now. You already put me through all this pain for what? I wanted you so fucking bad, but you only want me when it's convenient for you. Even if I wanted to, I don't know if I could ever shake your words from my head. Saying you don't see a future with me is pretty damning. Ooh, there's a lot of good stuff there. Basically, it's hard to even like recall this, honestly, because I feel like I kind of blocked it out. I feel like it's trauma. Breakups are trauma. I don't care. Maybe it's not maybe the most severe trauma in the world, but breakups are definitely like a form of trauma. Like it's just really, especially when you don't see it coming, which I did not. I was in total la la land, love, bliss with my ex. And because of that, because I was in my own little world I created, I didn't even like see what was in front of me and see the fact that he was drifting away and like not really in it like I was, because I was just so deep in it myself. Does that make sense? And let's just say this first of all, like I am so grateful to not be with this person anymore. I don't know anything. I don't know what they're up to whatsoever anymore. And I hope they are doing well. I hope they are living a great life. But I am so grateful that they broke up with me now. Let me set the scene. When I started dating this person, like I said, it was a couple months after my last breakup with like a long-term partner. We were together for like 2.5 years. I break up and a couple months later I get with this dude. I get with Trevor, okay? So I didn't even have time to process my like really long-term relationship that just ended before I hopped into a new one. And so when this breakup happened, I felt like I was grieving like all of my breakups at once in a way, because I was like, fuck, I've never truly recovered from these, have I? I just kept, like, that's why I would just go from relationship to relationship, because I was like, I don't need to heal. I'll just get into a new one. Whatever. I'll just, like, we don't need to process our feelings. No, we can just create new ones, you know? Oh my god. I don't know. I think I just really lost myself in my last relationship. I started working full time shortly after we started dating, and I feel like all I did during the year that I was with Trevor, all I was focused on was working full time and my boyfriend. Like, that's all I cared about. I didn't do anything for myself. My self-care went to shit. I not to be superficial, but like I glowed down. Like, when I got into this relationship, and maybe that was a sign that, like, my life force was being sucked out of me. Like, this wasn't good for me. No, but like, I wasn't taking care of myself. I'll say that, okay? I was not taking care of myself properly, just not prioritizing my well-being, not prioritizing my happiness, not doing things just for myself. And that's so not like me. I feel like I really regressed in that relationship in a way, and I don't want to blame them either. Like, this is I take responsibility for this. Before I got with Trevor, I was like really on my self-care grind. Like, while I was in my previous relationship, I was really working on myself within that relationship. I went back to therapy and had like a really good therapist for once, and felt like really good doing that. And I was really getting comfortable making decisions for myself. I remember this was a big thing I was working on in therapy, was just feeling confident and like comfortable to like assert myself and like my opinions and like things I like. Like, I would always just let other people lead and like not want to feel like a bother, not want to feel too opinionated. I don't know. I felt like I couldn't have that agency. And I started like doing like solo travel and like just really doing like more solo dates, even while, like I said, like while I was in the relationship before him. And so I feel like when I got with Trevor, it all kind of like went to shit. I feel like I forgot about all of that, and just poured myself into him and his life and his interests and his friends, and that's became my life. And then, yeah, like I said, I was working full time, which I do not do currently, and I really am trying to find ways to not have to work full time, because I do think it really takes a lot out of me. Now, looking back, I'm so glad that he broke up with me, because I don't know if I would have ever found the courage to like do it myself. Like I said, I was just in so like la la land with all of it. But that breakup was the catalyst for me getting agency back into my life and like prioritizing myself and taking care of myself again and doing things for myself. Like, oh my god. So sorry, that was like a really long-winded, this whole thing might be long-winded, we'll see. It's interesting to read how down bad I was after the breakup, because now I look back and I'm like, thank God. Like, thank God. Why didn't it happen sooner, honestly? You know? It's really tricky and weird, because for the whole year that we were dating, it did feel like a really good, nice relationship. I don't know how much of that was me just like making it up to be something really good and beautiful. But no, there were like a lot of good, beautiful moments, and I am really grateful for those, and for Trevor for showing me like the good sides of a relationship that I hadn't necessarily experienced before. And now I know when I start dating again, I know what to look for. I know that there are good qualities out there that I can find again, and I can also know what qualities I'm not looking for. It's all such like a learning experience. I don't know. But yeah, that's why it just caught me so off guard, and I felt like I didn't ever get a real explanation. other than just, he said like we were uncompatible, which came out of nowhere again for me. Let's touch on this. Let's touch on this line. You said you were not compatible and don't see a future with me, but you fucked me and acted like you loved me days before ditching me. Hey, why do boys do this sometimes? Why do boys, maybe this is wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like sometimes boys have in their brain, in the back of their brain, they're like, I feel like it's time to break up with my girlfriend, but I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get laid is, you know? So I gotta go fuck my girlfriend right before I break up with her, because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get laid is. Does that make sense? I feel like some guys genuinely think like that. Because like, why else? Like, why did you do that? Because I don't, yeah, it was just such a stark shift. like days prior we were good, in my brain at least. I don't know, so it really hit me like a train. And it was over text, kind of. I kind of forced him to break up with me over text, because he did the whole, like, texted me the whole, like, we need to talk. Like, fuck you. Don't ever text a person we need to talk. Like, that's evil and cruel. But he texted me that, like, early in the morning or something, and I can picture it so vividly. I'm on break from my full-time job. I'm like chilling in my car in the parking lot. And I saw that he texted me that, and I texted him basically saying, if you're breaking up with me, just tell me. Like, fuck you, just tell me. No, I didn't say, I don't know. And then he was like, yeah, I think we need a break. They're always too pussy to, like, break up with you. They're like, we need a break. This has happened to me in every long-term relationship I've been in. Each breakup, they tried to take a break. I'm like, do I look like I take break? No, I'm not. We're not on a break. It's done. Anyways, and then I went back in from my break from work, and I was crying to my manager and asked to go home because I was unwell. And that's how it happened. And then we, like, had one discussion in person, and it was so shit and awkward, and, like, I just remember looking at him and being like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, did you get possessed? Like, you do not seem like the person I have spent so much time with for this past year. Like, it was weird, you guys. It was so weird feeling. Anyways, let's read another entry, shall we? Okay, I need to come up with another alias for one of Trevor's friends. Let's call this friend Chad, classic Chad, you know? So this entry, I actually dated this one. This is from January 15th, 2024. Oh, life keeps on keeping. His family and, for some reason, Chad unfollowed me. I get the family being loyal or whatever, even though I did nothing to them and I did nothing to Trevor, so. The Chad one kinda hurt. I messaged asking about it, just left on scene. I'm just beside myself at this point. I don't know. I shouldn't try to make sense of any of it, but it's hard not to let my mind create conclusions. I'm trying to just be calm and know myself. I know I'm a good person, a good partner, a good friend. Am I the best person, partner, friend? Of course not. I'm sure I have my flaws, but sometimes I can't know my flaws if no one tells me. Not necessarily flaws, but, like, if there's a conflict, I'm down to discuss. I want to communicate, and when I'm talking to walls, I can only get so far. Oh, this is cute and funny. Ooh, my Amazon package arrived. Need to podcast. Need to get things out. Feeling good about that. She was starting her podcast. She was so sad, and she was starting a podcast because she needed to distract herself. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. This is basically just talking about his family and Chad, our mutual friend. Chad wasn't just Trevor's friend. I felt like I was friends with Chad, and maybe I wasn't as good of friends with Chad as I thought, you know? 'Cause, you know, when you're, like, kind of in your partner's friend group and then the breakup happens and it's like, ooh, what side is everyone gonna take? Well, everyone took Trevor's side, which is fine because they were mostly his friends, but like no one gave a fuck about me. Like I said, which is fine. They do not owe me sympathy or anything. Um, it was just interesting. It was just interesting to observe. Chad like watched my cats, like would take care of my cats if I was out of town or something, you know? And after Trevor broke up with me, Chad actually had a spare key to my apartment because they had watched my cats recently. So they had my key, and I was like, well, I need to get my key back from Chad, who I still think I am cool with. Oh my god. And then, no, because I remember after the breakup, Chad messaged me and was like, hey, I heard about the breakup, like, I'm here for you if you're, like, going through it, like, you can vent to me, like, I'm here for you as a friend, okay? And then I scheduled to get my key back. I get my key, and when they come in person to like give me the key, like they're giving me very cold energy. And I was like, that's weird, because I thought we were friends. I thought we were chill. And you messaged me saying I could like confide in you about the breakup. And then I posted some really mild breakup art. Let me post the breakup art because it's so chill and like not mean. And I could have been so mean in it. I was trying to get my feelings out, you guys, okay? In any way that I could. Did I have to post it publicly? No. But I did. I wanted to. And like I said, it was super mild and like not offensive in my opinion. And Chad unfollowed my art account and like my personal accounts like on Instagram, like unfollowed me, which I read about in that last entry. And so I was like, what the fuck, Chad? Like, you can't message me saying I'm here for you and then I post like super mild venting like a breakup art and then you unfollow me. Like, huh? And they did eventually like reply to me asking about it, being like, hey, why'd you unfollow me? I thought we were friends. Like, what's good? Is everything like, I had no shame at that point. I was like, fuck it, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have any friends, like let me just ask why'd you unfollow me? I have nothing to lose. And they were basically like, yeah, I don't want to see your breakup art because Trevor's my friend. I don't know why I thought I had more like in-depth entries about breakup, but I'm not finding as many as I thought I would. Okay, this one is from March 11th, 2024. I thought I wrote about it in here, but I didn't. Won't get into details, but yeah, fuck Trevor, fuck that whole friend group. Feeling very blessed to be out of that environment. I'm sorry, Vanessa, you didn't deserve any of it. I don't know how much detail I want to go into here. Basically, Trevor and Chad had something kind of going on more so than I thought. And like they had a past. Does that make sense? And I found out about it through like other mutual friends. I had no idea. And then that led me to like look back on like every interaction and like through a different lens. Does that make sense? Also, Chad was like I said, I thought we were like chill and friends, and like, anyways, now that I know what I know, it made a little more sense, maybe. Again, I thought I had more journal entries, like really going into depth about this, but I kind of don't, so I think I'm just gonna go off the cuff and like yap about some more of the lore. Something that this breakup had really taught me is that I am now a recovered social media stalker, okay? I used to stalk people on social media like crazy. I would go through Trevor's like Twitter likes at the time, like while we were dating, and see if there was anything questionable in there. And there always was something questionable. Because like, why are you looking in there? Vanessa, why are you looking through your boyfriend's Twitter likes unless you think you're gonna see something you don't like. And I did every time, you know? But instead of like doing something about it and like breaking up with him over it because it made me uncomfortable, I would try to talk to him about it and it would just kind of like go away. And then I would go through his likes again and find something else that made me mad, you know? And that's probably why he broke up with me. You know, that's probably why, because he was like, I'm sick of this girl policing what I do on social media, and that is valid. Anyways, the breakup did not stop me from going through his Twitter. No. After the break, of course I'm stalking his Twitter activity post breakup. Duh, I need to know, is he thinking of me? Is he emo? Is he sad? And yes, it did look like he was a little sad, and that made me feel really good. I made this little art piece inspired by one of his Twitter likes post breakup. He liked this tweet. What was it? Let me look at it actually. I don't know off the top of my head. Where did it go? Did I like archive it or something? I did archive it. Damn. Whatever. I'll show it for y'all. Exclusive piece of breakup art that I deleted because maybe I thought it was too cringy and I didn't want it on my profile anymore. But anyways, it's literally a screenshot of a tweet he liked that I made into a little piece of art. And the tweet is, it says like me and who, and it's a picture of stick figures, and one of them says reassuring boyfriend and overthinker girlfriend. And then someone quote tweeted it and said, as someone who has been the reassuring boyfriend, this is so draining. Fix yourselves, you sick pieces of shit. So I took that a little personally and decided to make art out of it. Like, what else do I do? I don't know. Yes, that was very mean. That did hurt my feelings. I don't think I'm a sick piece of shit. And I also don't think I'm that much of an overthinker girlfriend because, do I want to drop this lore? Do I want to drop that? Why not? We're going all in. If you've listened this far along, you deserve to hear the lore. I don't know. Basically, towards the end of our relationship, he started working for a VTuber. Do y'all know what VTubers are? And it was like a big titty anime VTuber, okay? And like he was becoming kind of closer friends with this VTuber, and I was like, I thought it was just a job. I thought you just wanted money, but now y'all are like getting a little friendly and it's freaking me out. So that was me being the overthinker girlfriend, whatever. But it was kind of justified because in like February, after the breakup, I was going on my Spotify and I see that I still followed Trevor on Spotify. And I was like, I don't want to follow my ex-boyfriend on Spotify, so let me unfollow him and like block him or whatever. I'm gonna block you on Spotify, okay? I'm gonna block you on everything except Venmo because I need to keep one channel open. If you want to communicate, you can send me money as communication, okay? I go to unfollow him and I see that he's made a new Valentine's Day playlist. Keep in mind, we broke up at the end of December and it's February and he's already making a Valentine playlist for someone else. Now, I can't judge too hard because he was a rebound. We rebounded with each other. We both came out of like long-term relationships and then waited not 2 months before we started dating. So I can't even judge because I've done the same thing. However, seeing it happen like that quickly, I was like, my camera battery died, so I'm trying to figure out what I was just talking about. I think I was talking about social media stalking and how I'm reformed now. I don't stalk anyone on social media ever anymore, and it actually feels like so good and magical. And even like I used to do it to everybody, like not just my boyfriend or exes, like just to see like what they were up to find something that would upset me. I used to just stalk everybody like in my life, like just random people from high school, see what they're doing. Like I don't do that anymore. Because it just felt like a big fat waste of time, to be honest. And I feel like a giant weight has lifted ever since I stopped doing that. So highly recommend, if you feel like you are a social media stalker, maybe work on that a little, because I swear it has brought me so much peace ever since I stopped doing that. Also, if you find stuff you don't like on your partner's social media and you've talked to them about it and they don't make any changes, leave. Like, stick up for yourself. Like, why do you keep looking and finding more stuff to upset you if you're not gonna do anything about it, That's me yelling at my past self, but also anyone who that can apply to. There you go. Can't wait. I don't know when this is gonna get uploaded. It probably will be uploaded right around the time of my 2-year breakup anniversary. So, happy anniversary to me. Happy celibacy anniversary. Anyways, bringing it back to the title, that is why I'm celibate now. That's why I haven't just jumped into a new relationship, because I'm really holding out, you guys. I mean it this time. Clearly I mean it. It's been 2 years. Like, I'm in no hurry to settle down. I'm in no hurry. Like, I'm waiting for my soulmate at this point. Like, it's my ultimate soulmate or nothing. Like, I'm not entertaining anything else, seriously. Because I feel like I've gathered enough lore. I feel like I've learned enough lessons from my past partners. And, like, for that, like I said, I'm very grateful. And there were a lot of good moments from these relationships, and there were a lot of less good things that, like I said, were lessons. But I just don't feel like I need to date for the plot anymore. Like, I'm sick. I'm over that. So that's why I'm celibate. That's why I have no prospects right now. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun and exciting to see, like, what's gonna come next, I'm open, but I'm also not gonna force anything if it doesn't feel like my literal soulmate, because that's what I'm after, okay? And my last relationship was only a year, and in the moment I was like, damn, I wasted a whole year on this. Like, what the fuck? Like, what a waste of time. But hey, at least it was only a year. Some people waste 5 years. Some people waste decades with the wrong person, So I'm glad I got out when I did. I'm glad he released me when he did. Thank you, Trevor, if you're watching this. That'd be so... No. I was gonna say that'd be funny, but no, it wouldn't. That'd be interesting. Okay, anyways, or Chad. Shout out Chad. That is my last breakup story. A little bit, unpacking that and unpacking why I've been single for 2 years without much going on. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it wasn't too long-winded. I've been recording for quite a minute, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.